All right. Hello, hello. Let's get this swapped out here. Hey, everybody. Um, Welcome to Behind the Stand. Tonight, I am playing around with my new racket. I've been posting on Facebook a little bit about this, and over the last few days, we've been printing the parts to this. This is a Renaissance racket, and it's a low woodwind instrument, a double reed, and yeah, it's 3D printed. Pretty. Let's see. Here you can see. It's pretty cool. Does it sound good? Um, I don't know. I think it's called a racket for a reason. But I thought I would come on here, and people have been asking me about, how did I make it? What is it? What does it sound like? So it's a double reed, so it's got like a buzzy. Actually, I'm using a contrabassoon reed that I've cut down quite a bit, and let's see what that looks like. So on this is the top part of an old, very wide contrabassoon reed. And I took all the bottom two wires off of it and just left the top wire. I reamed it out quite a bit and flattened it so it's an oval, because this staple is kind of an oval shape. I'm not going to take it off because it's really on there pretty tight. But there's this staple, and it's got a little place where I could put the reed on it. And then it's got a bocal. Let's see. Let's take this apart a little bit. This bocal, this is pretty cool. Like when I printed this, it's in 7 pieces. So it's got this bocal, and it screws in the top. Oops. It screws in the top, and you can see, like, let me see if that makes it go into focus better. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So you can see the threads on the bottom of it, but it was so amazing. Like, it just screwed right in without any, the precision is really actually pretty amazing. So it screws into the top part. This body we have the body, and it's got a top piece and a bottom piece. And I'm going to I can't get the top piece off. It's really jammed on there pretty good, but I'm going to take off the bottom piece so you can see like what's inside this. Just a second, there we go. So this is the inside of the racket. It's got all of these little tubes, and the bottom fits onto that. And in this bottom piece, these make little U-turns in the base here. So it's got like a little, what it does, and that also happens in the top part. They have little U-bends, and it creates a very long air column. So this is a very low instrument. And it's got a little notch here to line things up. And yeah, those fit together, and it doesn't go on really easily. So give me just a second here to jam this on here. There we go. Okay. There's not really a good way to test like to see if there's any leaks in this. And also there are a lot of holes. Like, these are all the finger holes. And I only have 10 fingers. Okay. This is very many holes. And it came with a fingering chart in the 3D print files, and it's a little tricky to figure out. I haven't spent that much time dealing with it. But okay, let's go ahead and put this part on. That just kind of snaps on there. And then the reed. And before I put this on, it sounds like that's crazy, right? I've cut so much of this contrabassoon reed off to put in here. And then this is the fiddle. It's not the fiddle. That's not the fiddle. All right. This is the pirouette. I knew that. I knew it wasn't the fiddle. But the pirouette. and this goes right on top of here. So I'm not really sure if this is like a true capped reed, like a shawm, where you don't really put your mouth on the reed and you just press up against this pirouette. I literally have not done any research on the instrument except for printing it out. And so, and just fixing this reed on here. But, so you want to hear it. I'm still playing around with it, and this is much better than the sound that I got this afternoon, but here we go. It's better than the sounds. Like, they're different pitches than what I got earlier today when I was playing with it. And I think that's because I was able to get this fastened together more. It's a little tighter. I wonder if, what would be really interesting would be if there was a way to, like if there was a liquid or something like Fix-A-Flat, for flat tires, you can like spray Fix-A-Flat in your flat tire and it'll seal up the crevice or the leak in your tire, at least for a little while. It would be really awesome to have something like that I could put in here that would fill in the small cracks that there may be a leak. I don't know. Is there a thing like that? Is there some kind of I don't know, some kind of a compound or liquid or something that I could put in there that would do that? But I just don't understand where all I'm supposed to put my fingers. I feel like, okay, here's the front of it. And I feel like this side is my left hand and that I've got my right hand right there. This is quite a reach. Not gonna lie. This is quite a reach. And I think that's for my pinky. And that doesn't solve the problem of like everything that's on the back here. Like, I think that is for your hand, for your finger right here to like curve around on. I'm not really sure. And then like what's going on down here? Like what could this be? Right? Like I don't have enough fingers and also thumbs. Like maybe I guess my right thumb. All right, that was very exciting. And the reed, just a second, having a disaster here. Oh, you can see the reed is coming off. So I whacked it hard enough to do that. This is not rehearsed. Obviously, this is not edited. This is coming to you live from Tampa, Florida, right now. So let me take this off here. Let me see if I can jam this on here again. I guess it comes off pretty easily. I can show you, like, this is how much I cut off of this contrabassoon reed. This is a pretty old reed, but I cut off the bottom 2 wires and just left the top part of the wire thread wrapping around it and squished it a little bit to match the staple, which is oval shaped. So I'm going to jam it back on there. There we go. And then this part clips. You can kind of hear it clipping onto the buckle. Let me see if you can hear this if I go. You heard that? I'll take it off again and you can hear it like. There we go. And then also the pirouette. We're going to put that back on here. And it also snaps on. It clicks. There we go. And so it doesn't really move. But I don't know what was just happening there in that almost catastrophe. Okay. So like these, there are 4 holes for, it looks like my left thumb, and then 4 for my right thumb. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. And then on the front, also, this is kind of interesting. Like, there are 4 holes in this. I think it's for my right index finger, but there are actually 4 holes there. And I'm not really sure, like, let's pull up the fingering chart and see. Let me open that file and share that with you. Let's see. We're going to add this image file. Download. Okay, here is the fingering chart. Oops. Let me take that out. There we go. So this is how low this instrument is supposed to be. Now, I checked this with my tuner, and I'm not quite getting this pitch. Like, earlier I had a D for this first open pitch. I'm gonna turn my tuner on again and see where we are here. Oh, man, I've got this. What is going on here? Okay. Let's see if I can get this to. Okay, something has happened. Okay, just a second. Okay, I've got issues. Hang on a second. Oh, that was my tuner. Obviously, this is not rehearsed, and I've got like a piece stuck in here. So let me see if I can get this out. There we go. Okay. Okay, I think I need to open this a little bit. So let's see if I can. I think I might need to get some water and soak this a little bit. Sorry, I know that's really loud, but just get over it. You can always change the channel. All right, so let's see if that's gonna. I'm not gonna put all that other stuff on here. That way you can like see. I don't think it matters. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's try just like the open. Let me get my tuner here. It should be making a C. Here's my tuner. Oops. That's an E flat-ish. Not really a great E flat, but it's kind of an E flat, so it's too high. Also, I don't care if it's too high. Like, I'm not playing it with anybody right now. I just want to make a sound. Now, what I'm discovering is something I discovered when I was playing the shawm, is you can't think of it as being like a regular bassoon, or like you can't, like with a shawm, you're not really supposed to control the reed with your lips. You're just it's supposed to be basically a fixed reed inside your mouth, and you press against the pirouette. That's my understanding. And I'm wondering if that is the case with this, if it should act like a fixed read with that you're just, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was playing the Sham, I did mess around with the read a little bit. It wasn't completely free blowing because it's wild. The Sham can be a bit of a wild, interesting instrument, and kind of you feel out of control, especially if you play the bassoon or something else where you're really manipulating the reed with your mouth a lot. And the bassoon, you do that quite a bit. I mean, the bassoon is, it's a really interesting instrument, and you have to rely a lot on your ear and that it's trained. There's no like set it and forget it. Like some other instruments, they might have a more fixed embouchure. Bassoon is not one of those instruments. So you do have to have some kind of ear training so you can play in tune and all that good stuff. But this, like if I don't touch the reed at all and I just press against the pirouette, let me try that. That's a pretty solid E flat. It's not in tune, but it's definitely it's fairly stable. Oh my gosh. Okay, so am I a racket virtuoso yet? No, I'm not. Am I going to be one anytime soon? Probably not. I'm not even a bassoon virtuoso. Who are we kidding here? All right, so let's see. I've shown you the different parts of the instrument, and we've seen the fingering chart. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting, let me show you this other. You're wondering, like, how did I make this? Do I have pictures? I think I took like a little video from the printing process, which was really cool. I do have some pictures. Let me pull those up and let me show you that. Give me just a second here. So, here's a little picture of what it looked like when it was printing. Let's get that up here. So there's the body when it was printing. This is a Prusa, original Prusa 3D printer, and you can see that it is printing. I think that I have a video somewhere here. Let me see if I can find that, because let's see, video file. Oh yeah, I do have. Here's a little short video of it's 10 seconds. Let's take a look at this. Pretty cool. I mean, it started out. You can see. I don't know if you can really see, but I put a brim on it. That doesn't zoom in for you guys, but there's a little layer around here that's not part of the print file that just starts it off so it sticks, so that it's stable. Because this took, a day. Like, it took, I don't know, 15 hours to print this, maybe 20 hours or something like that. It took a long time for this to print. And that's just this middle part of the body, not the top and the bottom and the pirouette and all this other jazz. That's just the body. That took quite a long time to print. But it's very, I don't know, it was really interesting. What you see on the outside here, this is uh, it's stable. It's a stabilizer. It helps keep the thing from collapsing. So there's fill and there's stabilizers. Let me see if I have another. Let's watch that video again, just for fun. Here we go. What some people may not realize is that it does print, like the printer on top only moves on one axis, and then as it goes, it just moves left to right. And the actual table that the plate that you're printing on, it moves forward and backward. And so as it prints, it just goes up. The printer on top goes left to right and also up. So I guess that's 2 axes. And then the plate just moves front to back. So that's kind of interesting. And you know, if you've never been around a 3D printer, you may not realize how these things work. There is a giant spool of PETG filament hanging up to the upper right side of this print area, and it's just on a big giant spool, and you feed it in. You can see it. No, actually, that's not where it's coming in. No, I guess it is. It's coming in right here. Actually, you can't see my cursor, so I don't know why I'm doing that. But at the very top, right above where it says Original Prusa on that little square, it's a very thin filament that goes in there in the top. So that's pretty cool. I wonder so the file that you get from this, it was free. It was on Thingiverse. That's a place, thingiverse.com. Let me go there and let's just go to my share screen. Let me do a new window. Can I do that? Share screen. I don't really want to share my screen. Let's see. Let me not do that. Cancel. Okay. Yeah. Let me just share this file. So what's kind of cool about this is, let me pick out this file over here. So it comes with all these files. Let's look at the file for the body because it's pretty cool. Here, oh, actually, is that not going to let me do that? Let me open let me just open that file here, the body. Okay, I'm going to share this picture with you. Let's see, this is my screen, share the screen, and we're going to share window. Well, where did it go? There it is. The racket body. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is the racket body. So let me zoom out on that a little bit. Oops, that's zooming in. Okay, so this is the body, and I can rotate this. You can see those are all the holes. And this is what the top, is that the top? I'm not sure. Oh, that's the bottom. Let's get this oriented right. There we go. That's the top. So if we look at the top, that's what it looks like. And you can see there's only that one hole goes, or they actually all go through all the way through because they connect with the top and the bottom. And you can see like even the little holes in these tubes. You can see the light coming in there, and then the bottom. That's pretty cool. Let's look at the let me close that window, and let's look at the top of this. Now, I don't think that, let me share that. Share screen, window, top, here we go. Okay, here's the top of it. That is where you can see the threaded tube here where I put in the bocal. I was able to screw that right in and it just matched up absolutely perfectly. This ridge is where this little, what is that part called? The staple plug. No, wait. Yes, the staple plug. That's where that clicked into. And then underneath the top, you can see how that's where the bocal goes in. That's that screwed in part. And then you can see in all of these different holes where it goes, they're connected to each other in a U shape. It's really hard to see, but like, so it creates this really long tube. It's really cool, honestly. Like, I'm not an expert on this, but if you have any questions or anything, I can try to answer them. Let me see if I can pull up, if I can see the chat. Oh, I see comments. Here we go. Hey! It looks like you could use it to steal dinosaur embryos for Jurassic Park. Yes, I guess I could. Like, it does look like that. You know what I also thought would be cool? Like, when I was working on this afternoon, I was going to get a drink out of my water bottle, and they were sitting right next to each other. And I picked this up like it was a water bottle. Now, there's an idea. Like, what if I made a water bottle, or maybe a cover for a water bottle that looks like a racket? That would be kind of cool. Oh, we could do ASMR. It's so stupid. Okay. Anyway, even though I like ASMR stuff because I like sounds. Anyway, one thing that I thought about when I was working on this is how much I dislike making reeds. Okay. Like, I hate making reeds, but I finally have a use for all of my reed tools. They were perfect for working on this. And, my pliers, pulling out supports, cleaning it up. My reed knife was great for cleaning up lots of detritus, I guess, that was just hanging off things. And all my little files, they were perfect. Like, this little rat tail file has just been such a lifesaver. Not a lifesaver. It's just been so cool to have. And I actually used it on my pencil stand that I made that I'm not going to get up and get, but it was perfect for filing in my pencil stand, the little pencil holes. So, but also, like, some of these other small files were really very helpful in this. And also I used my bassoon reamer and my contra bassoon reamer when I was working, because I took a bassoon reed and deconstructed that and like tried to fit it on here, and it was really tight and really small. Like, it was not producing the right sound. And this was closer. Oh, let me show you this one other thing. This was cool. Let's see. One of the files that prints out with this, so it's 7 pieces. This has 7 pieces, okay? But there is an 8th file, and it is a reed template. And this is how big one blade of the reed should be. And they recommend cutting it out of a plastic cup using a plastic thing. And you know what? That's probably what I'm going to do next, is get like a solo cup and an X-Acto knife and cut too afraid to make reeds? No. Like, don't be afraid. It's just reeds. It's like the worst thing that can happen is that it sucks, right? Don't be afraid of making reeds. I mean, when I was a freshman in college, we had a read class, a weekly read class, and we had one semester to get to the point where we had to play. Like our next semester, spring semester of my freshman year, we had to play on reads that we made. So that is major incentive to get better at it. In an emergency, of course, you could, who's going to know, right? I mean, your teacher would know probably, but if you need incentive to make better reads, it's like set a goal for yourself. Like a year from now, I want to be playing on reads that I make. I mean, why not? Get some lessons on read making. You should do it though, especially for oboe. Like, I think that's like a more specific thing than bassoon reeds. Bassoon reeds, there's a lot of forgiveness there, right? They're just bigger. They definitely are specific. Like and contra bassoon reeds are even more forgiving. But I mean, they're ones that you like. They're ones that you don't like. There's like specific qualities, little different specific things about them that maybe you like a wider reed, maybe you like a narrow reed, shorter, longer. This plays in tune on my bassoon. This doesn't play on tune. Whatever. I've ordered so many different kinds of reeds from lots of different makers, and I really should keep track of that and like have a reed diary. Like I know a lot of people that have reed diaries, whether you're buying them from somebody else or making them yourself, especially if you are a student and you're like 20 years old right now and you don't have a reed diary, you really should. Like if you are in the throes of learning to make reeds, you need to keep a reed diary. And it's even cooler now, like with having iPads and things. Like, why wouldn't you have a digital reed diary where you have pictures, you can have videos of what the reed sounds like? Imagine that. Like, there's no way we had that in 1984 when I was a freshman in college. Like, that was just a dream. The best chance you had of doing any of that stuff was like recording on a cassette recorder from Radio Shack, to do that and like sketching out something. I guess you could take a picture with your camera, but that would be terrible unless you're an actual photographer. Okay. So I'm just rambling now. Yeah, there's no forgiveness on the oboe, just in general, personally or musically. No, it's a very unforgiving instrument. See, I don't know why, like it's playing a little bit and then it like, Now, if I try to like if I'm just doing the pirouette method, like the fixed reed, like nobody wants to hear this. It's just endlessly entertaining. Oh, at the bottom, it's got like one little hole. I guess that's if you have all the holes covered, and that would be the lowest note. The lowest note, let me look on this fingering chart. This is what's so impressive, and this is why it's called the pocket bassoon a lot of times. So yeah, I agree the fixed reed does seem a bit better, but I think that there's a leak somewhere. But look at this range. Like, this is why this is called the pocket bassoon. Look at this. This is an F. That's an F below where the bassoon plays. Okay? That's bananas. How can it play that low? I mean, already the bassoon is already playing, what is that? C4, C3, C2. It's already playing a B flat 1. That's the lowest note on the bassoon, B flat 1. I guess depending on, there's different numbering systems. But the B flat below the bass clef, that's the lowest note on the bassoon. And here we have an F below that, which is a fourth below that. So imagine this is like between the bassoon and the contrabassoon. How crazy. And I mean, it's not a pocket size instrument, but it is much smaller than a bassoon. But very cool. Very, very cool. Like I'm just tickled about this because it's just so cute. And this blue gradient turned out so pretty. Like you gotta, imagine if you were like a troubadour or whatever, minstrel back in the Renaissance days, and you had something that looked like this instead of something that looked like old beat up bedpost. It's very cool. So we have some questions here. Nick asks. Nick is the only one talking here, so as far as I can tell. But what is the characteristic tone quality for a pocket bassoon? Well, it's buzzy. I think I have some examples that I could play here. It'll probably get copyright stricken or whatever. I don't want that to be screwed up. But if you look up, there's a really cool group called Unholy Racket. If I go there, just a second, let me see if I can pull them up real quick. Unholy Racket. Oops, not Rocket, Racket. Okay, this will be great. So you can maybe hear that. Can you hear that? It's a racket duet. So cool. Let me see if I can. Okay, now looking at them, it looks like they are just pressing against the pirouette. Man, they sound fantastic, right? They sound. Good Lord, let's stop that. So that is a fabulous racket sound right there. But yeah, check out Unholy Racket on YouTube. They are absolutely awesome. They have a bunch of different things. They have some racket videos, and they also have some they are wood because it's from the Renaissance. They did not have 3D printers or electricity or plastic. Yes, they are wood. So it sounds better than a duduk, right? So anyway, this is I will have to watch some more of their videos and see if I can figure out some fingering situations here for that. I can't remember if there's anything else I was planning on talking about tonight on this stream, but I'm really trying to make streaming a priority. I've got to do this more. I don't know if it needs to be daily or at least weekly. So that's what's going on. That is what is going on. So the racket. I'm so tickled. It's just so pretty. And the gradient I wasn't sure, like, if I would really like it, but I actually do, and it's kind of translucent in some spots. Like, you can see the fill. Let's see if you can. Let's see. It needs to focus. All the cool TikTokers put their hand up. I'm not a TikToker. Whatever. Anyway, you can see, you can kind of, it looks rougher than it actually is. It's really pretty smooth feeling. I mean, you can see kind of ridges and stuff. You can't really feel, in some spots you can, like I can feel like a little ridge right there, just right there. But you can also see like the reflection. And I'm sure that that's because of this hole, maybe. But it's really pretty smooth. I'm shocked at how smooth it is, actually. But the pirouette is really pretty. Like, you can see through it in those vents. So it's really a nice decoration. But the gradient is really striking. I'm surprised. So, I'm going to keep playing around with reeds and see if I can make it sound like anything. And, it'd be fun to like play in a Renaissance band, if I can get this to work. The other thing that I would like to do is actually make a shawm on the lathe. I learned how to use the lathe this week. I made a pen. Oh, let's see. What are you saying here? I have a thought. So for single read 3D printed MP, what does that mean? It has to have a certain density. Oh, okay. So the filament density. The plans, excuse me. Let me look up the plans here and let's see what the maker has to say about it. It's on Thingiverse. So let me show you this. Oh, there's another racket. There's two. Okay, I'm going to share this screen just a second. And we're going to look. So, we're going to look together here. Share my screen. And we're going to look at Thingiverse. Okay, let's go here to Thingiverse. Oops. We have an ad for Rareform. I love their stuff. Let's get out of that. Go away, ad. Why won't you go away? Just a second. I don't know why that doesn't want to. Let's see what we can come up with here. Share my screen. Thingiverse. Share. Here we go. Okay, so this is the racket up here in the upper left. That is the racket that I made. And let's click on that. It's a racket. Now, this is they printed these obviously using different colors of filament. There's their reed and whatever, they made all these different colors. There's the reed troubleshooting thing, and you can see it says here use thin curved plastic cups work the best. This looks like a thin like a translucent water cup. You know how they have those like really flimsy water cups at some water whatever you call it, jugs, watering stations, water coolers, that's it. Water coolers, and they have those like thin plastic cups. Cutting out using that little guide that I had out a second ago. I don't need to get it out, but the reed template that printed out. And so that red thing is his template. And then it looks like he scores it, cutting slits into the bottom of it. And then taping it. Okay. Use the reed to cut the plastic. Oh, okay. Sand down the top 1 centimeter of the reed. Okay, mine is contoured, shaped like it's a contrabassoon reed. I did not cut anything off the tip of it, which I maybe could do that, or maybe I could just sand down a lot of the top centimeter and also close up the sides. Maybe that would help. It says close off the reed edges by fitting it over a pencil or stick and add tape. Open edges will cause your reed to fail. Now mine is not leaking. It's pretty closed on the edges, but maybe if I put some painter's tape around it just to try out. So it has all these other things like and of course at the end here, if you're using a real bassoon reed, he has no ideas on how to help you with that. But those are the pieces, and it's a racket. That's really it. Now there was another racket. Let's go back. I did not see this one before because this is not really the one I was looking for, but maybe I could make this one also and see what is going on with this one. Now, this person probably plays the bassoon or something because they have wire. It looks like bassoon reed wire on there. And that looks like one piece. Okay. So there's this staple, and it looks like a combo staple and bocal together, maybe. And so we've got a plastic reed that looks remarkably like a bassoon reed, but let's see. I don't know if this will play. Oh, we don't want to hear that. Okay, so it doesn't have an example of this being played, but that's all. Cylindrical bore, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So, let me turn the sound on this. Okay, that is not what that's. Very tiny. Well, interesting.
Hey, everybody.
Oops.
Anthony here.
We don't want to hear that. Sorry about that. So that's kind of interesting. Like, I'm going to experiment with it, and maybe I'll print out that other racket and see if I can get some sounds on it. That's really it. So, so again, this is a racket, and I don't know if I have new people here. I'm streaming this today to Facebook, to my Facebook friends. Hey, Facebook friends. And to my YouTube channel, Behind the Stand, and my Twitch stream, Punkhausen. They got the merch. Punkhausen. Okay, if you want to follow me on Twitch, like, go for it, man. trying to resurrect that. We'll see. I need to take your comment off of there because this is not a characteristic quality for a pocket bassoon. Let me see, where's that? There we go. Thank you, Nick, for commenting and participating in this. So it looks like I have a fan. Woo! That's cool. So, what else? This is really all. That's all I've got going on here. I'm happy to answer any questions or take it apart again or whatever. Let me see if there's any comments on Twitch. Like, I had that up a second ago. No, maybe. It's connecting. I didn't know, this is all kind of new since I did this a while back. You can monitor you can have a stream manager on your phone, which is cool. But it looks, let me go back. Oh, there's somebody else. Let's see here. Let's manage my stream. There we go. Oh, I can just see myself. I just have one viewer right now on Twitch. Whoop. That's very exciting. But anyway, what else is going on? This doesn't really have to do with the bassoon or the racket, but Saturday I have my second concert with my community band, the Carrollwood Winds. We're playing for the Carrollwood Village holiday tree lighting at the Carrollwood Village, and we start around 4:45, and we're going to play some Christmas music, some holiday music, including Holiday Road and what else? Some other stuff. Obviously, Sleigh Ride, you got to have that. Hanukkah highlights. Oh, the very famous Christmas festival. Christmas festival. We all love that. What else? A really fun new composition that I found online called Jingle Dances, which is hilarious. It's got a set of 5 dances with jingle bells arranged in 5 different kinds of dances. The first one being a waltz, and the second is habanera. The third is, I don't remember. One is a hoedown. Oh, one is an Irish jig, one is a hoedown, and then the last one is a German band. So it's just really a fun little ditty with jingle bells going through those different things. And there's a sing-along. The flutes, my 8 flutes are going to play in a flute choir. They've prepared some things to play, so I'm excited about that and happy to share them with everybody. And we have a little horn trio that's got 2 horns and a euphonium. They sound marvelous, and another quartet with a singer, which they sound terrific, and I'm just really excited about that. Yes, Leroy Anderson Bonanza. But who doesn't love a Christmas festival? That's just such a classic. So much fun. And of course, Sleigh Ride. And, maybe I could build myself a slapstick in the wood shop this week and pull out my brand new slapstick on the podium. That would be fun. I don't know if my percussionists would appreciate that. Truly the best, most stick on Sleigh Ride. What else? What else is going on? Next week is the Tampa Metropolitan Youth Orchestra concert. This week, so Gigmas is a Wagner slapstick. Tell me about that. What's a Wagner slapstick? I don't know what that is. But so Gigmas, I'm looking at my calendar up here on the wall. This weekend is the tree lighting. I start having rehearsals tomorrow night for a Christmas cantata or lessons and carols in Carrollwood at a church. I'm excited about that. I've played for that every year for a while. It's going to be a good time. It's going to sound great. Let's see. Next weekend is Florida Wind Band. I'm playing principal bassoon for Florida Wind Band, and we're doing a bunch of cool things, bunch of serious wind literature. So, and that's free, but you can go to floridawindband.com. I believe that's the website, floridawindband.com, and get a ticket for that there. And then the next day after that, I'll be in Venice for a week because I'm playing at the First Baptist Church in Venice on Sunday the 14th for 2 services, and then I'm playing with the Venice Symphony from the 16th to the 21st. And we're making it into a little vacation, which will be fun. Okay, back to this slapstick situation. The biggest slapstick possible must be operated by 3 people minimum. That is ridiculous. I'm not making that. I don't know why I'm tired, but anyway, we're coming up to an hour here with this stream, and so I think it's just about time for me to end this. I've talked about gigs, so that's like, so I've got conducting gig, bassoon gigs, contrabassoon gigs, all coming up in the next 2 weeks. It's wild, busy. On one of these streams, I'll have to show you guys my new contrabassoon case. It is freaking epic. It's a new Wiseman case that holds my bassoon and my contrabassoon, and it is just killer. I love it. But I will be, taking that out for the first time in Venice in 2 weeks. So that'll be fun. I'm excited about that. Oh, another gig that I have coming up is what is this called? Salute to Vienna. It's like a New Year's thing, and I'll be playing that in Sarasota, Clearwater, and Orlando. Also, Bassoon-orama is coming up, which is an all-day bassoon extravaganza. Like the name suggests, Bassoon-orama. But that is December 27th. And, it would be awesome to hit 50 bassoons this year. I don't think we've hit 50 yet. But last year we had, 6 contras, some craziness like that. Yes, Nick, the Wiseman case is luxurious, and it better be freaking luxurious. But it's a custom case. It fits my 2 instruments perfectly. I picked out the blue-red interior. It looks really cool. It's got purple wheels, longboard wheels on it. On the bottom, it's got 2 of those. That's cool. It's got my name on it, my signature engraved on the outside. It's very cool. Yes, it is like $1 million. Okay, so Bassoon-orama is in Brandon. It's pretty close. If you have a bassoon, come to it. It's super fun. It's right outside of Tampa. It's like southeast Tampa-ish. But it's super fun. There's a Facebook event for Bassoon-orama, and I can post a link to Bassoon-orama. So bassoonists, there are bassoonists that have driven in, flown in. It's really a fun time, and all we do is read down tons and tons of bassoon ensembles, and it is just hilarious and a blast. And also, your face totally hurts by the end of it. Also, we have dinner. We usually have chili and lots of desserts, and it's really a good time, and lots of bassoon socializing going on there. Highly recommend. And I don't remember how many years. I want to say this has been going on for many years, but like just in the last 10 10 years or so, 10, 15 years, it's gotten like a lot bigger, especially in the last 10 years. It's like, it used to be like, hey, let's get together at Kevin's house. But now it's like way out of that situation. Definitely like a big extravaganza. You know what I would like to do for Bassoon-orama, just while I'm thinking about it, is have like work on a bassoon family tree with our teachers and see, we could put ourselves up on the board and connect us with our teachers and maybe with our students with yarn or something like a murder board. Like only murders in the building. That would be hilarious. But I don't want to call it a murder board because that's really dark, but like that, but with bassoon teachers and students all hooked together and see what the web looks like. They call it a murder board and only murders in the building, which is a bassoon themed. I mean, it's not bassoon themed, it's murder themed, but it's definitely got bassoon elements since season 1 was, had a prominent bassoon element to it. So there's that. So yeah, so let bassoonists know, get yourself a bassoon, come up to Bassoon-orama. A couple years ago, oops, I didn't mean to put that up there. A couple years ago, yes, I did know that a group of ravens is called a murder. Actually, it's crows, isn't it? Crows are a murder of crows. We did a piece on my first Carolwood Winds concert called Flight of the Ravens. And at the end of it, you have black umbrellas being flapped, like that sound like raven wings. It was pretty cool. Fun piece. But yeah, murder of crows. I'm 100% sure that that's right. Because I'm always right. That's not true, but all right. So that's an hour. Yay. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. Have fun getting going with Gigmas, which is, musicians' Christmas. It really kicks off in full force. Well, mine kicked off really last night because I had a community band rehearsal, and we went through all of the music that we're playing in our concert on Saturday. So that's, sometime I'm going to do a whole stream talking about community band. And it would be fun to have some guests, but I think community bands are really important. So maybe my next stream is about that, and maybe I'll have some footage from Saturday's concert and maybe interview some band members about the importance of lifelong learning and live music in the community. I know one of the things that I've promised this band is I want to keep Tuesday night their favorite night of the week. It's just so important. People need an outlet. And if you were a band kid, like having a band rehearsal every week where you get to play music with other people, like that's the one thing you can't do at home unless you got your family in on it. You can practice by yourself at home, but it's like at band rehearsal, that's when we kind of shine. It's like when we come alive. It's like making music with other people. So maybe we'll talk about community band next time. Anyway, thanks guys for coming to hang out with me on this late Wednesday night at the beginning of the busiest time of the year. And I will see you later, and maybe I'll have an update on my racket. Bye.